Hi everyone, I am sorry I'm still a little bit sick, but this is the makeup I wore to my year 12 formal. This is not the day I was getting ready for it, by the way, and I haven't done a tutorial with a voiceover in a while, so I really hope that you enjoy it. And if you wanted to see how I got this glammed up look, then just keep watching. So I applied the MAC Skin Base Primer. I had a sample because I was going to buy the full size, but ran out of money. And I really love this. It's really mattifying, and I already have eye primer on. For some reason my computer deleted that little part, but whatever. I got the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, but I applied my primer, just face primer, before I did my face makeup, just to let it settle on my face. And then I went in with the Carli Bybel palette by BH Cosmetics, and I'm using the matte warm colour in the middle, whatever you call it, just as a transition colour. And yeah, really buffing that into my crease, and I'm eating chocolate at the same time because it's good. So yeah, really buffing that into my crease, smoking it out, because yeah, it doesn't have that much pigment like on my skin, because I was a little bit tan at the time. So yeah, buffing that out a lot. And the brush I'm using is just from a really cheap set that I ordered online. I'll link it down below if I can find it. Then I'm using the second colour, which is a more matte mauvey colour, with a different fluffy brush from another cheap set that I got for Christmas last year. But they all work very well. And I'm just buffing this in a little bit lower than the other colour, but still kind of mixing it around, because again, this is still creating more depth on my eyes, but still mixing it in with the transition shade, if that makes sense. And as you can see, I went back in with the more dense brush and blended it out again. Oh, I'm sorry, I just have to sniff. I'm sick at the moment. Then I went in with a really dark matte purple and started blending that in even more, because I really wanted my eyeshadows to look neutral but really on the purple end of things, because my dress was purple. So yeah, really buffing that into my crease, mixing it around. This probably wasn't the best choice of a brush to do it with, so as you can see, I kept swapping between them. This brush is really fluffy, but it's one of those ones where it looks really fluffy, but then once you actually press it onto your eye, it's not as like spread out as you think it is. But anyway, I went with it, and the look still came out the same anyway, so it shows that you can do it with whatever tools that you have. Then I went in with the Anastasia Self-Made palette in the colour Hot Chocolate, and that was my like really deep colour throughout my crease. Really just blended it around. This is a Model's Prefer brush, and it's really soft, and so yeah, blending this all around in my crease, and just basically creating the depth that I wanted. So yeah, smoking it out, blending it out, going back and forth between the colours and other stuff, different brushes and things like that. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Just keep blending, just keep blending. Then I'm going in with the colour Buttery, and I actually hit pan on this colour, and I'm just using that as like what I call an eraser colour, just to kind of shape the eyeshadow. And then I'm using the colour Tattoo in Barely Branded from Maybelline all over my eyelid. When I first did like a trial makeup for this, I didn't use the base, and I realised that I needed to. I used the base on my eye on the actual formal day, and it lasted a lot longer. So yeah, I just really like that intense colour on my lid, and I really love the like golden tones that this gives. And then I use the colour Treasure from the Anastasia palette, and I wet my brush a lot with MAC Fix Plus, and I just really like applied that all over my eye and waited for it to dry before I blended it out. So yeah, that's one thing when working with MAC Fix Plus or any like setting spray thing on your eyeshadows. Wait for it to dry before you start blending it out. So I kind of, stopped recording and like fixed up my area in front of me because I made a massive mess on my desk. So yeah, just continuously went back and forth between blending my eyeshadow, fixing it up, just making it look perfect. Even though this, like, I wasn't even going anywhere that afternoon when I filmed this, I still just, I don't know, wanted it to be perfect for the tutorial because it's my first tutorial I'm using falsies with as well. So yeah, I just wanted this to look as much like my actual makeup did on the night of the formal. So I was actually really happy with how it turned out. I really liked my makeup. There's nothing I would have changed about it. So yeah. I've been answering messages on my computer the whole time while filming this too because I'm home alone, so I took my time. Then I'm using my Designer Brands Absolute Liquid Eyeliner. This is still the original one I've had open for like 4 months. It's amazing. I love this eyeliner. It's like glossy, but then I can make it matte as well. It's awesome. It's really pigmented. It stays on all day, doesn't flake, doesn't like crease or look weird, doesn't fade, it just stays black. It's not ultra glossy, but it's not like completely matte either. And yeah, I also went in and fixed up the shape of my wings and all that, but I edited that out. Then for foundation, I used my Estee Lauder Double Wear. I'm in the colour Esru, but I also got this does not match me when I'm not self-tanned at all. Like when I have no tan on, this oxidizer is way too dark. But I had to put some self-tanner on because I got really badly sunburned the week before and had to try and fix it. So also to make this foundation match me, I had to put a little bit on. So yeah, once this oxidizes and everything, and once I put powder and bronzer on, it matches me. But this foundation is amazing. Really full coverage, blends in very well. As you can see, I used hardly any and it's still completely covered everything. Not that I have that much to cover, but I mean, like, I have a really bad problem with foundation fading. And I'm blending that in just with a flat top foundation brush. I did use a angled face brush on the night, but it was like too dirty for me to use. And then I'm using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW20 underneath my eyes and also to highlight the rest of my face. I was going to use a different concealer to highlight my face, but I couldn't be bothered. And MAC, this Pro Longwear Concealer is the only one that's got like the ultra high coverage. I'm blending it in with a brush, but I did use my sponge on the night of the formal, but really the outcome's the same. I had to use my MAC Pro Longwear because it's the only one that doesn't completely budge, and also it's like the fullest coverage. And my under eye circles have been really bad lately because I haven't been breathing or sleeping very well because of my nose. Watch my why I'm having surgery video, that'll be linked down below in my previous video section. So yeah, I also had a zit that I tried to cover but didn't work. Setting underneath my eyes with my Australis banana powder. Love this stuff, it's amazing, and I don't even know what brush that is. I stole it from my sister Sam, so Sam, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but you know, it was when you moved out, so I took it. It works very well too, so you're not having it back. No, I'm joking, if you want it back, I'll give it to you. But anyway, I kind of used it to highlight the rest of my face as well. Then I use my Australis Fresh and Flawless on the rest of my face. Normally I use my like really dense kabuki brush, but seeing as this foundation was so matte, and I also used a matte setting spray, I kind of didn't really need to use the I hardly ever use this brush for powder because I usually need to pack the powder on, but this one works well. Bronzer, as usual, Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. Like, do I really use anything else ever? And my models prefer like 105 stippling brush, I believe. I did all my like powder face products before I did my eyebrows, just to minimize the amount of powder I get in my brows. And the outer part of my brows is slowly growing back, as you can see. And for blush, I'm using Face of Australia Primrose. This is beautiful. It's very like purple toned, and I wanted kind of like a monochromatic look all throughout my makeup. And I love this blush anyway. I think it goes really well with my green eyes, and I just love it like regardless. So yeah, it's really pretty. I don't even know if you can get it anymore. I bought it on clearance ages ago. And for highlight, I used my Aldi highlighter. I used the white one. This is like my all-time favorite highlighter, and I use the contour brush from Aldi, but I like it for highlighting. And I love this highlighter. It is so smooth, it's not chunky or glittery, it's just that beautiful sheen. So I used it on the top of my cheekbones, Cupid's bow, and a tiny bit on the end of my nose. When I went to the after party, I applied it a lot more intense, and I also used it a little bit on my brow bone. I did my brows off camera just because it's so annoying, and then I used Anastasia Buttery again on my brow bone, and this is when I hit pan on the eyeshadow, and I'm really sad because I don't think she sells it separately. I then used the highlighter that I used on my face on my inner corner because I liked how it sort of drew the whole look together. And then I took the colour Hot Chocolate from Anastasia with my, what is that, the accent brush from Real Techniques, and I like really smudged it on my lower lashes. Really working it in there. I didn't want too much on my lower lashes, but I still wanted something a little bit dramatic, if that makes sense. But yeah, I wanted all the attention on my eyes. And by the way, my brows were not this dramatic on the day of my formal. My brush, when I did this, was extremely dirty, so do not use an extremely dirty brush. And I'm using my Maybelline Colossal Smoky Eyes Mascara. I did not use this on the day of my formal. I used Too Faced Better Than Sex, but that has like dried up to the point where I can't even use it, so yeah. This mascara will do because I'm using falsies, so it doesn't really matter too much because it's getting covered up. Oh, no, okay. Too Faced Better Than Sex was okay for my lower lashes, but I threw it out after this. Oh, and I used it on my top, or whatever. I threw it out after this, okay? And I'm definitely repurchasing it, by the way. I really like it. Then I put some black eyeliner on my waterline. It's the Rimmel Kohl eyeliner. I love this thing. It's like the only black eyeliner I'll use. Then I did my lips while I waited for my mascara to fully dry. And the lip liner I used is from Nutrimetics. I had never heard of this until my sister gave me stuff. And it's in the colour Nougat. It's kind of like that Kylie Jenner colour nude. I hate comparing anything to the Kardashians in that. But it's sort of that colour, and the formula of this lip liner is amazing. It's really nice. But yeah, I didn't even really need a lip liner. I just used it because I can. And by the way, I did not line my lips like unevenly. My bottom jaw is naturally just very uneven. And then I used the e.l.f. matte lip colour in Tea Rose over the top because I wanted that like purple tone nude. Again, to pull the whole look together, to have like the purple tones on my eyes, my face, and my lips. And everyone was like complimenting me on my look, and I'm so happy because I was so self-conscious that it wasn't going to be good enough. And when I looked at how some other girls did their own makeup, I was actually very pleased at how mine turned out. Not saying that the other girls' makeup was bad, but I'm just saying that I felt like I did a good job on mine. So yeah, I was a lot more pleased with the makeup for this year than I was for year 10. And then these are the lashes I used. I'm using the pair I'm pointing to right now. They are from Wish. The whole set was like $2 for 5 pairs. It was they're freaking amazing. I also used the Ardell lash glue, the one that's actually in the squeezy tube. And yeah, these stayed on all night. They didn't bother me. I had a little bit of a trouble with the ones on my left eye. In this video, they just didn't seem to want to cooperate, but I got there eventually. I had to press them together with an eyelash curler. I edited that out though. And then lastly, I used the NYX matte finish setting spray. This thing was freaking amazing. I was very skeptical about whether or not this would actually work, but it did, so yeah. I love it. And there we go, that is the makeup I did for my formal, very neutral face, all the focus on my eyes. I think it was actually a little bit more dramatic, like a little bit darker, but you get the gist of it anyway. And I also filmed a video later on, I think it was my favourites, but yeah. I hope you guys really enjoy this video, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time, bye!